Hello students, today I am coming with very important applications and uses of the colloids. You know that most of the substances which you are eating at home, butter, creams, milk, all these are colloids. And at the same time, the houses you live, the clothes I am wearing, the ink which you are using, the chalk, all these things are colloidal in nature. And colloids are everywhere around us and they have huge uses and applications. And let us see what are the colloids around us and how they are useful to us. First, I am talking that how they are useful in medicines. You have seen, you are using syrups. As you go to the market and you buy syrups, for cough syrup you are buying milk of magnesia. I am saying you are buying milk of magnesia. Your cough syrups. These are what? These are all colloidal in nature. They are colloidal in nature, and because the colloidal particles have larger surface area, colloidal particles have larger surface area, therefore they are more effective as medicines and are easily assimilated by the digestive system of the human body. And for example, argyrol, let me see the argyrol. This is a silver colloidal solution which is used for eye as a eye lotion. Large number of creams which you are using, antibiotic creams which you are using, your cold creams which you are using, all these are colloidal in nature. And you know that your intramuscular injections are gold colloidal solutions are used for intramuscular injections. And antimony colloids have been used for treatment of Kala Azar disease. Therefore, you find that in medicine also we are using these colloids, because you know that what is written on the syrups, that shake before you drink, because these are colloidal in nature, and you will see there are some particles, and you shake it, they come in the colloidal form. If you keep it over a long period of time, when they are always saying shake before use. So the colloidal particles have a size, have a larger surface area, will act as a better and more effective as medicines in our human digestive system. That's why we are using. Let me see one important second application: smoke precipitator or Cottrell smoke precipitator. What is that, students? Smoke. What is smoke? Smoke is nothing but there are dust particles, carbon particles and gases, and is a major cause of pollution. And these particles are colloidal in nature and are charged particles. There is a charge on the colloidal particles, we have told you. So we can apply an electrostatic potential. Or what I say, that if we have plates which are, if we apply high electrostatic potential of the order of more than 30,000 volts, and if these plates, if the plates are having charges opposite to smoke particles. Opposite to smoke particles, then what will happen? The coagulation will take place at the plate which is oppositely charged to the charge of the particles in the smoke. And what will be the result of that? That if we apply such a arrangement which is called the Cottrell smoke precipitator, what they do is, here you have a plate, here you have a plate, and what you have, this is my plate and here is our smoke, this is my smoke, and these are the gases. And here what happens, this we are applying very high voltage of around 30,000 volts, and this is oppositely charged plate to the charge of the smoke particles, charge of particles in the smoke. So here coagulation will take place, and what will happen, these particles will come here in the form of they will settle down and they can be removed. So this can be used. Further, the sewage disposal is similar to like this. This sewage, I am saying sewage disposal students. What is that sewage disposal? There are particles in the sewage which are colloidal and have charge. So if you pass them through plates having opposite charge, then what happens? Coagulation will take place, and hence we can dispose of the sewage by using coagulation and using charged plates by applying an electrostatic potential in this. Further, purification of water. The water which is obtained from wells or other places, we are saying have impurities, particles which are colloidal in nature. So what we do, we add alum. What is alum? Is potassium aluminium sulfate. Now this will give us aluminium ions, and they will coagulate negatively charged impurities present in the water, and these impurities will be coagulated. The impurities will settle down and we will filter, and then we will be able to get pure water. So alum is being used for purification of the water. Again, the coagulation of the charged particles which are colloidal in nature. Further, I am talking of tanning. Important that the animal hide is very soft and is charged, and this animal hide is charged. So what we use in this, we will be using a tannin solution. Animal hide is positively charged. There is a solution called tannin. So we will immerse the animal skin which is positively charged in tannin. Tannin has negative charge. So coagulation will take place. The animal hide will become hard, and then it can be used in the leather industries for making shoes and other type of things, because these are nothing but polyhydroxybenzoic acids. Even chromium salts have been used. Even chromium salts have been used for coagulation and hardening the skin of the animals. What we are trying to say that these are charged particles, and every time what we are doing is a coagulation process. Coagulation process. You already know the cleansing action of soaps. Cleansing action of soaps or detergents, because what happens is when at critical visual concentration, we have already discussed at critical visual concentration at Kraft temperature, what happens? Soaps forms measles. They forms measles. These are nothing but colloidal particles, and they remove what? Your oil or dirt which is sticking to your clothes by the measles, because they emulsify by the process of emulsification. We have already discussed these, students. So here also we are saying that soaps and detergents, they will form measles and they are colloidal in nature, hence will help in cleansing of the dirt or oil from the cloths which we get. What about the rubber? Rubber from latex. From the trees we get latex, and latex is nothing but a colloidal solution. Colloidal solution. It is a liquid colloidal solution of latex. Latex in water. Water is my dispersion medium. This is my dispersion medium. And this latex is charged. Latex is colloidal and therefore has charge. Colloidal and has charge, negative charge. So what we do, if we add acids like formic acid or acetic acid, they provide H plus ions, and hence will coagulate the latex to form natural rubber. So we can get the rubber also by this process. What are your rains, students? Clouds. What are the clouds? Clouds are aerosols. And they have charge. Because they are water drops, tiny water drops in air, aerosols. So they have charge. So what happens is when the temperature becomes lower, these water droplets condense. Tiny water droplets condense to form bigger molecules, bigger particles of water condense to form bigger water molecules, and they come in the form of rain. Interesting thing that clouds are charged, and you see, if oppositely charged clouds meet together, what will happen? Then there can be rain, and you have seen lightning, which is very, very dangerous. Many times you have experienced that lightning takes place and large number of people have been wiped out, because there are charges on the clouds. Oppositely charged clouds are colliding with each other, rain and lightning. So this is further. And further, more important thing I am talking is artificial rain. Students, what is artificial rain? You are saying clouds are charged, and if I spray charged sand on the clouds by aeroplane, then rain can take place. And usually they can use silver bromide solutions, because it is an electrolyte. It will coagulate, it will cancel, there will be a mutual coagulation of the charges will be cancelled, and what you will get will be a rain. So artificial rain is because the charge on the cloud will be neutralized by the electrolyte which I am adding. It is plus and minus both here, silver and bromide ions are there. So they will cancel the charge on the, they will neutralize the charge on the cloud, and hence we can see artificial rain. This has been tested and experimented at many places. You see that your inks, printer ink which you are using, paints, all these which you are using, milk you are using, all these are examples of the colloids which you are using in everyday life. More things I have about this. Let us see the formation of the fog, mist and smog. See what is happening. There are there is a moisture in air. So when these fine drops of water are present in air, and when they condense or cool, when they cool down, what happens is they form fine droplets, and there is a dust also in the air, fine droplets in dust and air. So the result is the formation of the fog and mist. The only difference is the visibility in the two. One is more thick than the other. Now smog will be formed when the fog, industries where a lot of carbon is there, carbon dioxide gas is there, sulfur dioxide gas is there, carbon particles are there. When the fog will combine with these particles, then what will happen? You will get a smog. So they are all colloidal in nature. Smog is more dangerous because it has got carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide particles on which the fog is sticking. The fine droplets of water are there in air, and carbon particles are there. They float in the air, and this can cause asthma and serious breathing problems. Smoke. Let us see the delta formation. What are the delta formation, students? You know that river mud has charge, is colloidal in nature. When it meets the seawater has got large electrolytes are there. You already know, like NaCl, KCl, etc. They are electrolytes. What will happen when this is charged and you have electrolytes? When they will meet together, what will happen? Coagulation will take place. Coagulation of mud will take place. Coagulation of mud of the river water coming from the rivers will take place, and you will get huge humps of the land or some humps of this mud which will be deposited, and you will form something like delta in the sea, or deltas will be formed. So this is also the result of the coagulation of the mud which is charged by the electrolytes which are present in the sea. Electrolytes which are present in the sea, they will cause coagulation. So we are talking about soap, tanning, cleansing action of soap. What is the photographic film? Photographic films. You know that AgBr is a light sensitive material. And what we do, this colloidal AgBr is mixed with gelatin, and what will happen? Gelatin, stabilizes the emulsions. That we discussed, and these emulsions are then applied on a glass plate, paper, or celluloid films, and used in photography because AGBR is light sensitive. When light will fall on it, the silver bromide is in +1 oxidation state, and if it gains electron, there will be a chemical change when light will strike the silver bromide, and the shading will be different. Therefore you get films on the photographic plates, which we develop by using AGBR and gelatin, which are nothing but colloidal in nature. So students, fog, mist, purification of water, formation of delta, artificial rain, medicines, smoke, and blood. You know, your blood is also colloidal in nature, and you know, blood is negatively charged. Inside this is an albuminide which is positively charged, but the overall blood is negatively charged. When there is a bleeding, you apply ferric chloride solution. What will happen? There are ferric ions and blood is negative. They will coagulate the blood, and clotting will take place. This is called clotting, and therefore bleeding can be stopped by using ferric chloride solutions. What is the blue color of the sky, students? The sky appears blue. What is happening in the atmosphere? You have dust particles and other particles of gases, etc., gaseous molecules, and they scatter light, and a type of Tyndall effect, which I told you. And this condition is the size of the particle. Size of the particle should be almost equal to the diameter of the particle should be equal to the wavelength, and the Rayleigh scattering. I am talking of Rayleigh scattering. We say the scattering is inversely proportional to 1/λ4, and blue color has a lower wavelength, is scattered the most. Sky will appear blue to us. Similarly, you know, sea water, they appear blue in color because there are particles which are present in the sea. They scatter the blue light, and therefore the sea water appears to us blue in color. So we have discussed the various food articles, medicines, student smoke, blood, clouds which we are talking about, purification of the water, smoke precipitator, tanning, sewage disposal, rubber industry, photography. All these are nothing but applications of the colloid, student. Therefore, this is all about the colloids in nature, and there could be more applications. One thing is clear, that the colloid solutions are very useful for us,